back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Dovey. Welcome. Today we are doing another picker card reading, and today's reading is about the end of 2025. Like, how is it all going to end for you? Okay. So for each pile, I pulled the world card from each deck. So let's go ahead and start the pile selection right now. So the first pile is the world card from Modern Witch Tarot. Okay, pile 2 is the world card from the Lovely Ladies Tarot. And yeah, better look at that. And pile 3 is from the Wild Unknown Tarot. Okay. Also, this will be the thumbnail for today's video, so you can always go back to the thumbnail if you probably need a little closer look. Haven't really set any intentions other than, let's just find out how your year is going to end. Whatever comes out, comes out. I'm not really looking at a specific area of your life, like career or love or anything. So we'll just see what comes out. So let's go ahead and get started with pile 1 at 2 minutes even. Okay, so something that happened right before I started recording was I usually always like to have incense or a candle or something lit when I start doing readings. It just something this helps me as far as my senses. So the first candle I lit, it lit fine, right? But it just kept popping. Like, I was like, oh no, and after a few minutes it was still popping after I got my whole table set up, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be annoying. I can't. So I went and got another candle, and that I lit that one, and that one is just like steady going just fine the way it's supposed to. So that made me think that maybe with pile 1, you may have tried to start something this year and you just kept trying to get it off the ground, but it wasn't working for you. So now towards the end of the year, you're deciding to either set intentions to start something new in the new year, or you're starting it right now. You're just taking a different course, right? You realize that the first thing was not working, okay, whatever that is. Also, I think too, the fact that the candle kept popping, like it was like an annoying sound. I feel like maybe you are focusing in on your inner self and not listening to the outer noise. So that could be people and their opinions, or maybe something what society thinks you should be doing. It's something where you're just focusing in. We are ending, this year was a 9 year, which is a hermit year. So maybe you actually are kind of coming in more to focus in on your hermit mode. Or maybe this could have been an 8 year for you, and maybe next year is a 9 year as far as your personal year. So that's just some of the things I was picking up on before your reading. Okay, so let's just see what's coming out. Okay, yeah, 4 wands. You're focusing on your foundation, and it feels like maybe your inner foundation. Not so much worried on Like I almost like I feel like you're becoming your own architect, whatever that means. Like you're building something for yourself and not what others see for you. So you just got the Tower, right? And the Seven of Wands. I feel like you've been trying to avoid this though. Whatever this thing was that wasn't working, you really have been trying to hold on to it really tight. Um, Sometimes there's a certain path that you think that you're supposed to take because it's something that you really like, but I feel like spirit is saying there's just something, I have something bigger for you, grander for you. You're not thinking big enough, right? Yeah, Ace of Swords at the bottom. You're meant for greater, and that could be of greater relationships with people. We did start your reading exactly at 2 minutes, so number two is about um relationships. So you may have been trying to hold on to a relationship, and that could be personal, business, a friendship or a lover that was not good for you, and you're finally seeing that you had to let it go. Yeah, Nine of Cups. Like your wish, Spirit is not denying you your wish. They just know that there's a better wish fulfillment out there for you. Two of Cups at the bottom. Yeah, this very much could have been about a relationship. Empress and Seven of Swords. I almost feel like too you had so much like of a control on this thing. It's such a tight grip on the way that something was supposed to come to you. Um so for some of you, maybe your wish is still coming, the one that you are been trying to manifest all year, maybe for years. For some of you, that you weren't allowing spirit to, it's going to come, but it's not in the way that you think it's going to come, okay? And so you've let go of the control, and now you're sitting more in your Empress energy, more in your feminine energy, and just allowing what's supposed to unfold. Yeah, it was about divine timing. Wheel of Fortune and Seven of Pentacles. Your seeds that you sowed are not um dormant, okay? Your harvest is coming in, but I feel like things or situations had to be moved out the way, with Five of Swords at the bottom, things that weren't really in your best interest, because spirit didn't want these blessings to be overshadowed by, it feels like it could be jealousy. um King of Pentacles. Yeah, you may, for some of you, this feels like it could be career related or just having stable finances. But something or somebody had to be moved out the way. Judgment. Yeah, judgment is being called. Six of Cups, something about the past. We are in retrograde season right now. Um, I believe Jupiter is in retrograde in Cancer, and Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio. Um, and I believe Saturn is now out of Pisces, but um, there may be another sign, or I mean another asteroid or something like that in Pisces right now. So it's giving some type of like grand trine energy, water trine. It feels like you were holding on to memories of something or somebody. Um, you could have either one, it could have been one way or the other. You could have been having bad memories of events or a person that was overshadowing um like you being able to manifest, or it could have been that you were seeing somebody in too much of a like you romanticized somebody, like you only were thinking about the good times that you had with this person, um or you weren't picking up on like the slights, the jealousy, the little smirks, because they're like, if you really listen when you're in conversation with people, like really listen to what they're saying, because the truth is always coming out, you know. They may not say something directly to you, or they may even try to say, well, this person said this and that about you, and maybe you don't have a relationship with that other person to go and say, you know, I heard you said such and such about me, and they know that. So it's almost like they used another person, a third party, to speak on their true emotions about something or about you, but they put it on somebody else, right? But it was really how they felt. I feel like this group, you have a certain energy or light about you that it draws people in, you know. And when you draw people in, you're not always going to draw the best people in, you know. uh Darkness comes before light, right? So your light sometimes draws the darkness as well, and it's to shine light on this person's darkness, on this person's flaws, you know. um I feel like this group, you trigger people by just being you, and maybe that, yeah, maybe that's okay. Sorry about that. I didn't charge these microphones, and I just was hoping I could get away with it still working. But I'm just going to hope and pray that you guys can hear me really well. Um, I just wanted it. I wasn't. It was kind of like I had a moment to record that I haven't had in a while, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I just was hoping my microphones would hold up, but that's okay. We're gonna keep rolling with it. Um, so what I was saying was, I think you trigger people, and this might have been the situation. You might have triggered this person, um, and you felt like maybe it was you. And this might have been a pattern. This might have been a pattern that you just now realizing, like, it's not anything that you're doing wrong. You literally just have a light about you that triggers people's shadow. Um, and sometimes when you do that, if if the person can be aware enough, they can heal. But you're not going to, that's not going to happen for every person that you come into, that comes into your path. Sometimes too, I feel like you're supposed to shine the shadow on this, shine the person's shadow, so that other people can really see how this person is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you really, but if I think now that you realize this, it has healed a part of yourself. You're more grounded now. And now, like I said, I really believe your manifestations are going to come in now because you're realizing maybe even your purpose behind this, but you're realizing that, yeah, you don't have to hold on to the guilt of going through bad situations with people. And what did I do? How did it turn left so quickly? And I think it's because you trigger something in them, and they're I mean, I don't want to call it a demon, but I'm just gonna you invoke their demons, okay? And the demons lashed out at you. Why is this having a swords here? And I almost feel like too, you've been running from becoming a leader too. You may have always tried to step to the side and allow other people to lead, even though you knew, or maybe you didn't know, but I feel like some of you intuitively knew that you were better at being the leader in certain situations, but you shied away from it. Yeah, I feel like this is why this judgment is here. Like, you really do have a calling here. I feel like you're supposed to help people heal, but it's not through anything like really crazy other than being yourself. Why is the judgment here? Yep. Ace of Swords, Five of Wands. People see you as competition, like, and you're just being you. You're like, you're so like, I think you see it now, but before you were so oblivious to it. You didn't understand why people just always attacked your character or try to mimic you. Maybe even steal ideas or something, and then try to make them your own. But you're realizing that this is just the energy that you embody, and it's almost your purpose to shift these people into consciousness, but it's not going to work for every person. People have to be ready to be awakened. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here? Three of Cups. I feel like you're going to find people who are like you soon, maybe even coming in before this year ends. It's gonna feel good to. I feel like you're gonna be sharing your stories with this group of people, and them vice versa. And it's really gonna open your eyes to who you are. They're probably gonna come in and mirror you somewhat. This is very interesting. That's why I said I felt like, because I was gonna write down like, things that I wanted to go over for each group, but Spirit was just like, no, just let it flow, right? Just don't try to like nail this reading down too much, because obviously they had some other intentions. They had other things that they needed to say, and so if I would have just went on career and love and stuff like that, it might have, went a different way. But I feel like Spirit just wants the messages to flow. They need to flow today. Hear what you need to hear, not hear what you want to hear type of energy. Please tell me what's happening at the end of the year for pile 1. Take time out. Truth transcends illusion. Yeah, I feel like you had this illusion going on about a certain situation or a certain person. And that's the number 22. So 2s is definitely big for you guys. You might be seeing 2s. And then you have the 9 here, and I said that too. Like this, we're ending a year 9 with the 2025, but you may be entering into your personal 9 year next year. To take the time out, I feel like Spirit is going to give you a little bit of a break before your next thing starts. I almost say your next mission, so that's interesting. You're like you're waiting for your next assignment. And you have Snake Spirit at the end, at the bottom. Time to heal. Yeah, I feel like this whatever this thing was, it really drained your energy. So you may find yourself sleeping more towards the end of this year. And it's so funny because you got the bear, and bears hibernate. Yeah, so you may just need to get some more rest. I'm hearing also reading, reading. Like maybe not so much TV and social media, but more, what do they call it? Like analog stuff, like reading, maybe painting. If you're into like building, like Legos, or doing arts and crafts, like cooking for yourself, like good meals. I really feel like Spirit wants you to nurture yourself for the rest of the end of the year. Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. Yeah, and even the flower in this card is the lazy-eyed Susan. So it's kind of giving me like, it's okay to be lazy during these last couple of months, okay? This rest is just as important as work when it comes to manifesting. I feel like you put in the work that needs to be put in. You planted the seeds, and now it's time to rest and just wait for the next thing to come in. Anything else for pile 1? Okay. You got Sandpiper, be playful. Yeah, like maybe even play games. Like if you are close, you have close friend group or family. You know, this is the holiday season here in the United States. So, you know, maybe just have like a karaoke or a trivia night or something like that with your friends. Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. And Eagle Spirit, Spirit has your back. Yeah, so that's just letting me know that Spirit has a plan. There's something coming in, something greater that even you thought was going to happen for you. I feel like you're going to get glimpses of something before the year ends in 2025, and then 2026 is going to be a completely different energy that you've seen, I'm going to say, in the past 9 years, because this feels like a 9-year cycle that is ending for you guys. I mean, on a collective energy, this is a 9 years. So it's a lot of new energy that's going to be coming in for everybody next year. But I feel like even on your personal level, it's been a long 9 years. So that would have been 2016, 2017, that maybe something started for you where your life started shifting. Maybe people started falling out of your life, or you could have had a job change, moved, whatever. But you're coming out of that. Okay. Is anything else? I feel like I've given you advice, you know, time to rest, nurture yourself. Yeah, I think that's it for pile 1, okay? I will have a 2026, what's coming up in 2026 video coming soon as well. So look for that to see, maybe to get some ideas of what this next assignment that you have coming in. So please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys at the next reading, okay? Take care, pile 1. Bye-bye. Okay, pile 2, starting at 2505. That's crazy. That's almost 2005 backwards. My microphone died in the middle of pile 1, so I just pray that you guys can hear me. You guys chose the World card for the Lovely Ladies Tarot. Looks like this. I feel like you're daydreaming, or you're reflecting, you're doing a lot of comparison. Because she's wearing earrings. One side is the sun and the other side is the moon. So it's like, it's giving me night and day. Maybe you're not, maybe you're completely different from where you were at the beginning of this year. Like like something majorly shifted for you. So now you're reflecting on all the things that happened to you this year. And you're like, I don't even recognize myself from January. One of your cards went flying. Give me 1 second. King of Swords. You know, the King of Swords in cardology is the God card. So you got the Fool and the King of Swords. I feel like you really stepped into your power this year, pile 2. Definitely with the Fool card here, you went on some type of, this may have been like a spiritual journey. Some of you have graduated or getting ready to graduate in December. Like you may have gotten your master's or your doctorate or something, because it's like you're at the highest point of your career. 8 of Cups. Yeah, definitely spiritual journey here. Ace of Cups. Okay, you may have like walked into like more of like a self-love type of, you may have had a journey of self-love this year. And then you got Page of Swords. I feel like this Page of Swords is here because I feel like you speak more clear as well. You're more curious. You're more curious. You change your perspective, but it really feels like your perspective got changed first with yourself. So now because you shifted, you see the world differently. Yeah, you got the Chariot at the bottom. I feel a lot of energy with this group. Like you're ready to take off. Like you're ready. You're so ready for this next chapter. 6 of Wands. Yeah, like your self-esteem is really high. You're really proud of yourself and what you've accomplished this year. Like I said, a lot of you probably could have graduated, got some type of degree or certification. 7 of Wands and 4 of Pentacles. I feel like that's you. You're not so defensive anymore. And I feel like you were very defensive because it was a self-esteem wounding. Like you felt you didn't have the confidence to be completely out with who you are. Some of you guys paid down a lot of debt too this year, so you're very proud of that. You're ending the year with your finances more secure. And I'll tell you, like I told pile one, I didn't start this reading with the intention of doing specific um, areas of the life, because spirit was just like, let it flow, you know. Um, it was certain messages that needed to come out that may have not come out, or I might have not seen them the same way if I would have said, okay, we're looking at love, now we're looking at career. I didn't want to do that with this reading today. So we're just getting the messages that are meant to be heard in no specific order. Nine of Pentacles and Star. Yeah, you definitely became more financially independent. Some of you are living on your own or getting ready to live on your own for the first time this year. Maybe you always had to have, maybe either you've been living at home, you know, maybe past the age where you felt like it was acceptable. You know, that's, you know, questionable about who's supposed to stay at home or whatever. Because I really believe if you can live generational and help and share and build together, which I know it's hard because not everybody can get along with their family, but if you could do that, why not? Like, it's really hard out here to live a solitary life, right? So, or some of you are just, you know, you don't have to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or any type of roommate for the first time. You're able to afford to live on your own. Some of you may have bought your first car, like maybe even like with cash, like you didn't have to take out a loan. Eight of Wands. Some of you may have traveled for the first time this year, or you're getting ready to. You're planning to travel for the first time this year. Like actually get on a plane. Maybe you've been places before like that you can get to by car or train or something, but you're actually going to be taking your first flight this year. This energy feels like somebody who could, I mean, not necessarily, but you could be kind of young in your early 20s and you're like finally like having that freedom of feeling like an adult now, but not necessarily. The Lovers. I feel like this Lovers is here because you have a significant person coming in towards the end of this year. It feels more platonic though. It doesn't feel like a love situation, at least not at first. I feel like this is a friend though. Why is the Lovers here? Ace of Wands. Okay. Yeah, I really feel like this person is going to ignite something in you. They may have like a key for you. Like something about them is going to put you on a path. It feels good. It feels it's something meant for you. So this person may be some type of guide in a 3D form, a mentor, but they may not come off like that at first. They may not come off as like they're going to teach you something. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that is their purpose. Eight of Swords and Two of Swords. Yeah, it's like I think they're going to put you on a path of something that you've never seen yourself doing before. They're going to introduce you to something and you're going to find yourself doing something and it's going to be like, I never in a million years thought that this I would be doing this. For some of you, it's something simple as if like they're introducing you to like body art. Maybe they're going to take you to get your first tattoo or something. I don't know. But For others, they're really introducing you to something that is going to be a big part of your life moving forward. It could really be something simple like you didn't think that you would ever be doing, I don't know, karate or something, and they introduce you to martial arts, and you're like, it becomes like a big part of like it's a big hobby for you. Maybe it helps you with self-discipline and moving forward with future goals. But it's something that they're going to introduce you to. It's going to be different for everybody. Let's see, anything here I want to clarify? What's the star here? Oop. Those cards jumped out. Six of Pentacles, Strength, and Nine of Wands. I said something about being you guys being more independent, closing out this year. I feel like you're going to be giving more to yourself. I feel like before you saw that as maybe being stingy or something. But you're going to be giving more to yourself. You're going to have the courage to go after things just because. And maybe even just because it makes you happy. I think there's like a squirrel or something outside the window. I keep hearing. Yeah, so Queen of Wands at the bottom. Yeah, this is definitely Queen of Wands energy here. Anything else, Spirit? I'm gonna pull some Oracle. Five of Swords. I feel like the Five of Swords is here because you're, I'm getting two things off this. For some of you, it's saying, like, don't get too, like, balance it out. Give to yourself, definitely, but don't, like, block other people. You know, still have a giving nature. And then for others, it's let you know that this new energy you have, it may draw some jealousy, you know, people trying to block your shine, but don't worry about that. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to refocus. Whatever that noise is outside the window is distracting me. Please tell me about pile 2 and how they're ending 2025. You see clearly now. Clear out the clutter. I feel like this is about, yeah, you see yourself clearly now. You have, with the King of Swords here, you have a lot of clarity on who you are and you're standing in your power. Yeah, freedom is yours. You're not going to feel blocked anymore. Whatever you felt like you couldn't accomplish or achieve prior to 2025, you don't have those same issues anymore. So it's definitely like a self-esteem upgrade. Surrender now and bring a gentle touch. I feel like it's saying still be gracious with yourself. You're still going to have times where you fumble, where that lack of self-esteem kind of tries to creep back in. You know, it's your shadow element, so it's always going to be there. um and when you make a mistake, or you know something isn't quite working out the way you thought it was, give yourself grace. Okay, be gentle with yourself. Don't start like feeling really bad because something happened or somebody slighted you or something, because you'll put yourself back in to that sadness, that guilt, that depression, that Eight of Swords type of energy. um so when you fall or something goes wrong, then you just get back up. Okay. um but yeah, I mean, I feel like you should be really proud of yourself, pile two. It really feels like you did a lot of shadow work this year. um and you're coming out with more clarity on who you are and how strong you actually are and what you can accomplish, right? So I think that's what I have for you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Um, also be on the lookout for my 2026 video and what's coming in. For 2026, I'll probably be posting that soon. And I will see you guys in the next one, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, pile three. You guys are starting at 4211. If you watched any of the other piles, you know this, but I'll just say it for pile three. I didn't set any intentions for any like specific subjects to come through for this reading. We're just kind of reading the energy and see what message spirit feels like you need to hear, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. You guys picked the World card for the Wild Unknown Tarot. Okay, you have Justice, Four of Cups, and Lovers. I feel like you've been like struggling with something all year. Something like you wanted some type of peaceful resolution to something. Some of you could be going through some type of like separation or divorce. And I really feel like you thought like you had to do something for this thing to come to a resolution, but I don't think you had to do anything. It's just gonna happen. Yeah, Ten of Cups at the bottom. Like you don't have to do anything or make any choices. Something is gonna be resolved anyways. And I feel like you're realizing you spent a lot of energy, a lot of restless nights. You know, I'm feeling like headaches, stuff. I mean, you were worried about something that wasn't really in your hands anyways. So you have Three of Wands, Ace of Wands. Yeah, the expansion was going to happen. This shift was going to happen no matter what you did. And you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse on the bottom. Like, you didn't have to put any work in. You really just had to wait for the time to go by, which is really hard for us as humans. You know, I feel like most of us struggle with patience, okay? Especially when it's like we feel like we're stuck in stagnation, but I feel like you're realizing at the end of the year that you were never stuck. Yeah, 8 of Cups. This was a lesson, a spiritual lesson of some kind. And the Devil. It was your shadow. You had to face your shadow, and your shadow was you always feeling like you have to do something. I feel like you're a worker bee. I feel like you're a hustler. I feel like you're always the one to make something happen, and you didn't have to do that this year. You actually just needed to be more in your feminine energy. Like you just had to sit back and just wait. Yeah, Temperance at the bottom. The healing was going to happen regardless. It's almost like I was telling somebody the other day, they were complaining about if they went to school for a certain thing, how long it was going to take to accomplish, to get their degree. And I'm like, well, you can do it or you don't do it. The same time is going to go past, right? So you can either make use of this time while, and get the degree, or you can sit back and go back and forth and struggle with your inner self about what to do. What's next for you in life. What are you going to do for a living? What's your career going to be? And you wasted that time. You could have been getting that degree, Two things are coming to mind. Idle time is the devil's playground. So the more you sit around, wait to make a decision, you're kind of already making the decision, right? You're making the decision not to do anything. And let me clarify that, because I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself when I say you didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to do anything for this thing to come in, whatever this is, or this resolution to happen. But you could have been doing other things while this was working itself out, instead of worrying about it. And then as far as like, if it was education or it was you getting some type of certification, if that's your story, or maybe you were just waiting on a specific job to open up, it kind of reminds me of what my grandmom always used to say to me: no education or knowledge is waste. Like, you can go to school for 4 years and come out and not do that specific job that you went to school for, but you don't lose the knowledge that you gained in those 4 years. They will be put to use somehow, some shape or form. There was things and people and places that you were probably meant to come into contact with during those 4 years that is going to help you somewhere on your path at some point in your life. 7 of Wands. 6 of... Is this swords? No. 6 of Wands. So 7 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and Hierophant. Yeah, you were going to get that knowledge anyway. You didn't have to... It's kind of funny because I feel like the energy is somewhat similar through all 3 piles. It's kind of, even though there were different stories or different timelines, it's kind of like giving me, it's an underlying collective energy here where it's like you were meant to get this lesson, no matter how it came in or how long it took to come in. It really feels like a lot of people went through some really tough times this year to show you how strong you really are. But also to let you know that you can't be in control of everything either. Things are going to happen the way they happen. Emperor. I really feel like people are getting like a spiritual promotion in a way. A lot of people went through things so that you could be almost a leader or a mentor for the next people behind you, the younger souls, if that makes any sense. I know this is very woo woo, but that's what I'm picking up on. You went through this because you are going to lead the next group of souls in this same lessons that you went through. Four swords, Six of Swords, Two of Wands, Tower. Yeah, you're going to be actually seeing other people have their tower moment, and you're going to know exactly what they're going through because you faced it, and you're like, I'm going to give you a blueprint. I'm going to show you how it's done. There may be some spiritual teachers in this pile. Nine of Cups. Yeah, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you and help you maybe ease your way a little better than I did. You know, it's almost like your elders when they come to you and they try to tell you, you know, I went through this or this happened to me, so let me tell you what to do so you don't have to go through the trials and tribulations that I had to. Now, did we listen? Not all the time. But if you did, it did make things a little easier for you, right? And I feel like that's a lesson in itself too. You may have people that you try to give advice to or try to warn and be like, listen, I went through this. I'm trying to help you. They're not going to listen. And that's not your job to make them listen, right? You're just supposed to give the knowledge. What is this Tower here? Knight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like definitely some spiritual teachers or messengers or something is in this pile. And that doesn't mean you actually will do that for a living, but you may get people sent your way that you're supposed to show the way to. And you may have that realization towards the end of this year because you've completed something, you've had something come to a resolution, and now you're going to somebody's going to show up in your energy that needs this knowledge. And this could be very much something simple, like you fought against something, like you had a lawsuit, you won, and then maybe it gets published or something, or people hear about you and they're like, can you help me too? Like, it could be something like, I don't know, your local electric or water company was overcharging you or something, and like it comes out in like the local news, or your neighbors hear about how you fought against them and you won, and they're like, you know what, they did the same thing to me. Can you help me or show me how? You know, or you might even be the first person to speak on something and you bring about a class action suit of some kind. Why is it Four of Cups here? Knight of Swords. Yeah, like news is gonna be traveling about what you did, and people are gonna be asking you for your help. The Hermit. Yeah, the Hermit is the person who went off into the woods to get the knowledge, you know, and then they come back enlightened, and they're supposed to spread the word of their enlightenment. It's almost like Buddha, you know, when he went to go sit underneath that tree. Definitely feels like spiritual leaders here. Six of Cups. This was definitely destined for you. Maybe something in the civil rights movement as well. And I'm talking about anybody's civil rights. Doesn't have to be, because when you hear civil rights, sometimes we often think about, the African American experience, but it could be, I feel like you're getting your rights back and you're going to help others get their rights. And it's gonna come to fruition at the end of this year. I feel like when you get this resolution for yourself, it's gonna inspire you to help others. Yeah, you got the Eight of Swords, but it's in reverse to clarify the Three of Wands. So you're no longer afraid to stand up for yourself, or even to speak on a certain issue, maybe something that happened to you. You could be a survivor of some type of abuse that you're speaking up on now. Yeah, Seven of Cups in reverse. You're no longer, it was like you faced the boogeyman somehow. And you realized the boogeyman there wasn't anything really in the closet. It was just a shadow. Like literally, it probably was your shadow. Yeah, judgment. You call judgment. You know how like when you're a little kid and you hear something or you see something like under the bed, and then you finally get the courage to like turn on the lights, get up and turn the lights on, and then you look underneath the bed and realize, oh, it was just like a dirty sock or something. That's what it feels like. It feels like you turn the lights on something, King of Swords at the bottom, clarity, and you're like, oh, this wasn't really that big of a deal. This wasn't a fear. Like this, I faced it and I won, or I overcame. Yeah, some type of something coming to a resolution. You may have been afraid to face something or somebody. Why is this Justice here? Two of Swords. Yeah, you were like at a standstill about something. Two of Swords and Page of Wands. I really feel like it was your inner child facing some type of fear. You might even had to go up against somebody you've seen as an authority figure. Like, it could have been a parent. Like, you might have finally, like, stood up to a parent. I'm hearing some of you, an abusive parent. King of Pentacles at the bottom. This person could have been a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You also have the Hierophant here too, so it could have been like, yeah, a parent could have been like forcing you like to follow more in their path, and you've said no, I'm following my own path. Why is the Hierophant here? Yeah, Magician. I'm making my own life decisions. Let's pull some Oracle now. I'm gonna pull this other deck for you guys. This is the Wild Unknown Archetypes, which is the same person that did the tarot deck, so I guess that's why it's calling to me. Please tell me about pile 3 and how they're ending 2025. That went flying. Yeah, it was divine time. It was time for you to face this thing or this situation. The Kiss and the Stone. You are not going to have to face this lesson again. This is a permanent change. And the Kiss is telling me that it almost, like, again, it felt like something very scary until you turned the light on. You're like, oh, this thing is actually helping me. It's going to be good for me. Yeah, it's turning out better than I thought it would. it could, it could even been the vow. I was just going to say it could have even been a relationship. Like maybe you had to like have a tough conversation with somebody, and when you had that conversation, and you're like, oh, like I could have been said this, and it would have been resolved. Like, or you guys have a better understanding of one another now after you've had an important conversation. That's for some of you, and so other people. This was you going up against some type of big business, or like maybe even your employer or something. But it really feels like you fought back on something. You pushed back, and the person ended up not being as big and as tough as you thought they were. And you're gonna heal from this, and you're gonna help others. Knowledge. Didn't I say you gain knowledge? Gnosis is universal knowledge. The creator, again, the fellow on the magician card. You're creating your own life now. I really feel like you were listening to the noise in your head, maybe even the noise of others. The healer. You're gonna be able to help others from this. And then the one at the bottom. Yeah, I feel like this group, there's somebody has great energy and power in this group. The shadow. Yep, you had to face your shadow. And then the river is at the bottom. It definitely has something to do expressing your feelings and standing up for yourself. And now you're going to stand up for others. It's very interesting. I didn't do this for the other groups because it didn't feel the need to, but I want to pull a love card for you guys. Because for some of you, this feels like you opened your heart or your feelings to somebody and vice versa, and it cleared the air between you guys. Yeah, like you had an argument with somebody. It says regret. My intention was not to hurt you. I'm so ashamed and embarrassed. I can't bear to look you in the eyes and tell you everything. I can't stand the thought of making you cry. Just let me build up the courage to confront us. And then you have hold me. I need to feel your arms around me. Things are not right in my world, and I'm longing for your embrace today. Please send me your love so that I know everything is okay. Yeah, so this might have been somebody you were in separation with for a little while, and they like really regretted hurting you, or you could have been the person that hurt them. I don't know. But now there's some clarity between the two of you guys, and it feels like you guys are going to be coming back together. And then also at the bottom, you have I love you. My love for you is infinite. We are bonded in eternal love that in beyond this space and time. Close your eyes and reach into this infinity. Know that it is real. I really want to reach out to you and tell you how I feel. The love I have for you in my heart nothing can compare with anything. Remember, I will always love you. Yeah. Now I'm curious to like what. Let me just find out, and then we'll end it here. What was the conflict between this person and my watcher? Ten of Swords. Could have been a betrayal, like a backstabbing. Maybe they were gossiping about you. The Strength and the Star. I feel like they were jealous of your strength or your courage. Maybe you were shining too bright for them. So it could have been like some jealousy, or they felt like they didn't they weren't good enough for you, but it was their shadow. Like and then again, here goes the King of Pentacles again at the bottom, and I shuffled. So it's this this person could be Earth energy for sure, but it could be a Gemini as well. But yeah, I feel like this person was insecure because your light was so bright and they just felt small compared to you. So they might have did something or backstabbed you or betrayed you in some way out of their own insecurities. It could have been a really good friend too, or a family member. It said something about a parent, so maybe you had a mom or dad that was actually jealous of you. Page of Swords, yeah, like they seen you as very smart, very intellectual. They just didn't feel like they could keep up. But you weren't even asking that of them. It feels like it was their own shadow, and now they realize it. So now they've cleared it, or you've helped them clear it by just being you. Or this conversation helped them see that about themselves and why they did what they did. But yeah, that's what I have for you, pile 3. Seems like whoever this person is, or if this was, like I said, organization or a job or something that you had to go up against, the win is yours, or the win is your guys. Like if this was a relationship, you guys are back now, and being good with this person, then yeah, the clarity and the resolution is here. It's coming now, okay, or before the end of this year, 2025. So yeah, be on the lookout for, I'm gonna do what's coming in 2026 video soon. And probably also, a few other things I plan on posting over the next week or so. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, take care. Bye bye.